Hello and welcome again to Let's Play Shadows of Om. This is Policy of Madness. We're here in Firecrag's approach. The approach to his lair.
To it.
And we're talking about logic. Let's see what we have going on here. Wow, 3 greater wolf wares. I think we got this.
Ali. Incurtus pulcrum imperium. Vita mortis cario.
Yeah, sometimes this actually works, Finger of Death.
Vita mortis cario.
Okay. That worked pretty well, didn't it? Those things have a lot of hit points and they regenerate really quickly. But, I know nobody has, actually needs to be told that. Everybody who's ever played this game knows that. So it occurred to me after I ended that video that I probably should have given an example of why that syllogism, you know, some men are logical beings, I am a man, therefore I'm a logical being. An example of why that syllogism is invalid, I said that it's due to the fallacy of a... what is this? The structure of that syllogism is exactly identical to the structure of this syllogism. Some carnivores are reptiles. All cats are carnivores, therefore all cats are reptiles. Yeah, your two premises are both true, but you come up with an absurd conclusion because your logical, deductive process by which you move from your premises to your conclusion is invalid.
Bastard.
Yeah, it's true that some carnivores are reptiles. You know, there's crocodiles
Did that.
are carnivores, and they're reptiles. And all cats are carnivores. But the universe of carnivores contains reptiles over here and cats over here, and they don't actually interact. And the same
Oh, you wild bastard.
the same thing might be true of the universe of men containing logical
wild
beings and
bastard.
you. They may not interact. They might, but they also might not. There's no way to know.
You wild bastard. Oh, you wild bastard.
Crap. The progression between your premises and your conclusion, it doesn't work. And if it's possible to just change the terms
Did that.
in your syllogism and come up with an absurd conclusion, even though your premises are true,
Did that.
then that shows you that your logical construct is invalid. So he tried to use an invalid logical construct to prove how logical he was, and that's why I laughed at him. Because he was an idiot.
Oh, did that.
But deductive reasoning is not the only kind of logic that exists. Deductive reasoning is the best kind of logic, and whenever you can use deductive reasoning, you want to.
You wild. Vita mortis cario.
Whenever you can use deductive logic, you definitely want to, because then you don't have to argue about your conclusion. If somebody wants to argue your conclusion,
Did that.
they actually have to argue your premises and show where one or more of your premises is incorrect. Deductive reasoning, deductive logic, is kind of like when you were in school and you were learning algebra and your teacher said, show your work. It's not good enough for you to just come up with a correct answer,
Did that. Oh, you wild bastard.
because you may have come up with that correct answer
You
by accident.
bastard.
The teacher wants you to show how you got from the problem to your conclusion, to show that you understand the progress, the progression of logic. I mean, math is logic. The fact that the barbarous syllogism, a very common syllogism, is the transitive property. It's time to rest. So we can bring this up and we can bring up an air elemental. And if we had that staff of air, oh, it's just another of those things. He can't see us, but he comes to cuddle us. If we had the staff of air, we might be able to just
Incorrect.
hit him once and dispel him. But we didn't bring it with us. Why? Air elementals not being particularly dangerous.
I'm waiting. Yeah, if you say so.
He values his golems more than 100 of you. Yeah, this was a, there was a little small troll and a hobgoblin. Yeah. Actually, his goblins are worth, I think there's an adamantite golem in here worth 22,000 EXP, and this hobgoblin I think is going to be worth like 6. No, I think they're 30. 30 EXP, aren't they?
Tell me of I'm waiting.
Oh, damn it. Oh well. Deductive logic is what you want to use whenever you can. That doesn't mean you always can. Deductive logic works when you have knowledge about essentially what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Do you actually have information about it? If you do, then you can often use deductive logic.
Oh, you wild bastard.
If you don't have information, then deductive logic is not something that you can use. Oh, I was saying that math is logic.
Oh, you wild bastard.
Really? I'm slowed? That thing was close enough to me to
You
slow
wouldn't
me?
hurt a lady, would you?
Oh, shit.
Incurtus full.
There. Fucking slowed. Can't believe it. Obviously, this is gonna take a while. Logic is math. Math is logic. Actually, when I was in, was it high school or was it middle school? I can't remember. I was learning, it was probably high school, learning geometry. And they taught us some logic. They just kind of took some time out
You wild bastard.
from their regularly scheduled geometry and went over some logic. Because math and logic are the same. Computer programming is built on logic, deductive logic. This game right here is one series of logical deductions after another in incredibly fast order. This doesn't necessarily mean, though, that computer programmers are exceptionally logical. It seems like there has been a separation between the pure logic of machine language and the operations that a lot of computer programmers do today. The farther you get away from machine language, the less married you are to logic. But even when you're doing something just like a regular computer language,
Did that.
you still have to think logically in order to get from point A to point B. But for some reason that doesn't necessarily translate into non-programming, because there's been a lot of computer programmers that I've run into who don't know logic from a hole in the ground, even though they're programmers. I don't understand it. But there are other kinds of logic other than deductive logic. You do want to use deductive logic whenever you can. But if you can't, if you don't have enough information, you can't use deductive logic. And then you might go to type of logic. The next best type of logic would be inductive logic. Inductive logic is, it doesn't guarantee your result the way deductive logic does. Deductive logic, if you have true premises and a correct construction, a logical construction that is valid, then all you have to prove is your premises. You don't have to prove your conclusion, because your conclusion is proven automatically by the operation of logic in your argument. It's guaranteed to be true if your premises are true and your logic is good. Inductive logic, on the other hand, doesn't guarantee a particular result. Inductive logic goes like this. I am thinking about buying a, I don't know, something. Oh, cool.
Incorrect.
Take care of that thing. So the game has been putting all these dragon scale devices on us, or equipment, to try to clue us in that there's a dragon at the bottom here. And that we might need these.
I'm waiting. Yes, nothing to it.
You need something, stranger.
The riches and glories and things. Orkers? Okay. We got a wolfware and a greater wolfware.
Tell me all about it. Whatever you want.
Wolfware and a wolfware.
Yeah. Tell me all about whatever you want.
Alright. Now, more or less, I just gotta wait for that sword to expire. That sword is not going to kill that wolfware. Oh. Did it expire? Alright. Now we're going to kill the wolfware.
Manos potentes ha! Vertus light. Vita Mortis
Give it one more try.
Vita Mortis Cario.
I think that's the best way to kill the greater wolf wearer is when there's only one. When there's three of them, like in the corridor there, it's kind of hard because that's an awful lot of spells to be wasting on one critter. But when there is only one critter, it's okay. Alright. I'll say I want to buy some chicken wire because, just for the sake of argument, I have a fence and I have critters coming under the fence and they're eating my vegetables. And I'm really, really pissed and extremely angry. And no, this has no bearing on real life. Except, of course, that it does. This is exactly what was happening. So I go on Amazon. I'm going to buy some chicken wire. And I read the reviews. Alright, so Chief Dig-Dag. We killed him. Yeah, he's dead. Except I kicked your ass.
Incur.
Oh yeah. Real tough. Tazok doesn't even look the same as he did. He didn't look like this. Okay, so that changes nothing except for the fact that Dig-Dag's not there. Because I already killed him once. Alright.
Yes.
I read the reviews because that's what all intelligent people do when they go to buy something off Amazon. And I see that all the reviews are positive. Except for two that are, you know, I pick out the particular type of chicken wire that I'm looking for, or that I think I'm looking for, and I read the reviews. And all of them are positive except two. Two of them are negative. You know, something about not being able to use it, and something about it didn't work to keep varmints out. Well, somebody else said that it was fine for keeping chickens in, which is its, you know, actual stated purpose.
You are welcome here.
Okay. Oh, this isn't going to be very tough. This mage is actually really easy to kill. We're just going to wait for him to expire here.
I'm waiting.
Alright.
If that's what you want.
So, I reason, using logic,
Whatever you desire.
that those two people either just got duds for whatever reason, or didn't know how to use it. Although how you can not use chicken wire, know how to use chicken wire, I don't know.
Welcome. You have come as I wanted. It has been an interesting game, but to tell the truth, I tire of it. For my amusement, for my curiosity, and for my memory of transgressions long since past, all of this spurred me on, but I grew bored with you. Very well, an in-depth response. Your fathers are my interest. Your lineage crosses the mortal and spiritual, and both concern me somewhat. Gorion raised you. I know this from my spies and followers. They are subtle when I wish it. Gorion was as much your father as anyone.
Yeah, truth.
He was also an adventurer in his day, and crossed my path long ago. Him and his heart of friends. I bear the scars of that meeting.
Why would he admit this?
He is beyond my revenge, being dead as he is. So I settled for the next best thing. I can torment his spirit by destroying you. Wherever he is seething.
So, I'm pretty sure that if we selected this, we would be able to reject the stronghold. Because of course only an evil person would do this. But we're not going to do that. Not really sure why it gave us that whole conversation with Firecrag looking this way, because he looks much better in profile. I mean, the sprite dragon looks really good. I mean, this looks really good, but not when he's facing you. Not when he's facing the camera. He doesn't look that hot. Okay.
Veritas, credo, oculos.
Is that all?
This is gonna be no big deal.
Vocio,
I really like killing people with Melf's Acid Arrow. A level 2 spell is going to be the death of you.
You are welcome here.
Alright. we're gonna be back here, so we're not gonna bother with the familiar bag of holding. We're just gonna pick up what we can carry.
Yes.
When I decide to go ahead and buy that chicken wire, because most of the people who bought the chicken wire did well with it,
Nothing to it.
and it seems like the people who didn't do well with it were somehow just incompetent in some way, you know? I'm using inductive logic to reach that conclusion.
Incurtus Imperium.
It's inductive logic that we're using every time we go to Amazon. There are other ways that inductive logic can be used, of course. That's not the only way. But inductive logic is an operation whenever you have imperfect knowledge, and you are reasoning based on your imperfect knowledge. Shut up.
Whatever. Tell me all about it.
I can guess what the odds are that I'm going to encounter a problem with my chicken wire based on the number and character of the other reviews that other people have left.
Just ask.
But I can't know anything for certain until I actually order the chicken wire.
I will do what I can to help you.
So what's our quest look like? Five flagons. It looks like that stronghold has not been forced on us.
Nothing to it.
I like the sound of that. Alright, now as soon as we step back in Apcatla, I'm sure that mech is going to accost us.
Wow, an adventurer.
Yep.
Whatever you want.
You can ignore these, incidentally. You don't actually have to come back.
If you say so.
And give Higgold help. He can deal with these things on his own, it just hurts the play quality. I'll be dealing with that later. Okay. I did make some notes. We're gonna go do this.
Of course.
I have this little piece of paper, and it is absolutely
that's what
covered
you
in
want.
notes, so let's hope I can read them.
Whatever you desire.
That's not higgled.
Theatre life is never dull.
And actually, I'll do great, because I actually look like a wizard.
Is this important?
I am a lady of refinement, and you shall treat me as such, I am sure.
You shall not die here this day. Hey, there's actually lines missing. There's like dialogue in between these two statements, and it's missing. This one is so obviously not correct.
I am a lady of refinement, and you shall treat me as such, I am sure.
Again, we're like missing dialogue. This is pissing me off. I'm actually supposed to go, "You do not understand, my dear. I've watched centuries, ages unfold. You are but a passing flame, soon extinguished, and one day just a name."
As long as you're not the tax man.
See, now we're getting into... These are real similar.
I'll trade you a few words, sure enough.
Bravo! Bravo!
I don't think it's good form to be applauding yourself. Hold up, nobody's supposed to know who the counselors are, and he's just named him.
Theatre life is never dull.
Was one of your lines a cough? You noticed this, did you? Never here. Isn't that my original investment? You're just gonna give me my investment back? Screw you. Alright, so here's the thing that we didn't need.
Is that all?
And hopefully that gets that off of our... Alright. Off our quest list. Let's go see what the apprentices are up to. Now we're done with this stronghold, which is good, because it's kind of a high maintenance stronghold. But being a high maintenance stronghold means that it's also a lot of EXP.
You want.
And the early bits of it are like no challenge at all. Really the only challenge to that is writing down all those damn lines. Or you could always consult a walkthrough, which I never do.
Just as.
You might say that you're using inductive logic then when you're saying that, or that guy, that one dude. You could say that he was using inductive logic when he said that he must be logical because all men are logical. Therefore, he must be logical. That's not actually how it works, because you use inductive logic when you lack information.
Nothing to it. I'm waiting.
Inductive logic is used when you don't have enough information, but you have information about yourself, and so you can't use inductive logic to advance theories about yourself. A few bumps and bruises. writing a scroll. Okay. But it doesn't tell us anything about it. I don't think this Ring of Wizardry operates the same way as the ones in the first game, but in any case, we've already got 2 decent rings. This is from the advanced class. We already have a better staff. They did all of the teaching themselves. They taught themselves. I just gave them space. I don't understand this at all. Alright. Let's do that thing in the Cleric Stronghold. It's not really a stronghold quest. Anybody can do it.
If you say so.
What's his name? Said to come back. When we had time, so let's go back.
Of course. If that's what you want.
I have a duty for you to perform.
Whatever you desire. Is that all?
Is it this guy?
The Morning Lord welcomes you to his sight.
I don't understand this. I mean, are we like suspended above the floor? Look down here, there's like tables and shit down here. So you walk in and you're suspended above the floor or something? This whole room just makes no sense to me. And here's apparently where a dude sleeps. Just out in the... Somebody's standing over here, can just watch him getting dressed. You know, there's a screen here, but I can just go to the side and my line of sight evades the screen. Oops. Didn't really mean to talk to him. Alright.
Nothing to it.
And it needs to be nighttime, so let's just head to the slums and rest.
Whatever you want. You wouldn't hurt a lady.
Of course, this means there are a couple of other muggers hanging around.
This should be fun.
Wish I could say I cared.
Just ask.
I got some cheap beer for you.
All right, you and me. Let's go.
I gotta stop dipping into me own ale.
Alright. Is it night yet?
What would you like?
We're using inductive logic to calculate, estimate, reason through the odds that we will get decent chicken wire. And that the chicken wire will be what we need. Once we've actually received the chicken wire, then we can look at it, test it. We can determine how well it suits our needs based not on inductive logic at that point, but on facts. Inductive logic is used when you don't have facts, or when you don't have sufficient facts. So no, you can't say, well, I'm logical because all men are logical and I'm using inductive reasoning to get there. No, it's not actually how it works. Logic is more than just making a statement and prefacing it with the word logically. I like to call stuff like that Spock logic. I knew it. I knew they'd be here. How did I know they'd be here? Oh, they're susceptible to death.
Plant a blade in your innards, I will.
One of them was. I want to see if just one Mel's acid arrow will be enough to kill him. A lot of people seem to think that if you just make an observation or you say something that you've come up with in your head, and you begin your statement with the word logically or you know, reasonably or anything along those lines, then that means you're using logic. That's not actually what it means. I think he's gonna need a second arrow. I'm in no hurry because I'm waiting for night. I don't know where we get that 8 o'clock is not night. Alright. Let's go use this identify scroll. Let's go sort our shit while we're waiting for time to pass.
Nothing to it. Whatever you want.
There's another form of logic that, that you can use. And that is abductive logic. Inductive logic is what you're using when you have some information, like some facts, okay? You have some facts, you just don't have enough facts. But you're moving from cause to effect. Your logical progression is from cause to effect. You're starting with, you know, a cause. In the case of the Amazon reviews, we're starting with the cause is some people bought this item and then decided to leave an Amazon review. The effect is that I now have some Amazon reviews to read. You're still moving in the same direction that you would move in a deductive argument. You know, you're starting with your premise that, you know, all mammals are warm-blooded, and you're observing something and saying, well, this is a mammal, therefore it must be warm-blooded. Well, in this case, you can't actually see the thing. Instead of saying, well, this is definitely a mammal, and therefore it's warm-blooded, we're instead looking at a range of characteristics and saying, well, it's reasonable to think from the fact that it has hair and it expresses milk for its young, that this is probably a mammal. And therefore it's reasonable to think that if we test its temperature, it's going to be warm-blooded. That's an inductive reasoning. Abductive reasoning moves in the opposite direction. Abductive reasoning is actually what this dude was using when he said that men are logical and he's a man, therefore he must be logical. Let's see if it's dark yet.
If you say so.
Nope.
Of course.
What's that doing in there? Abductive reasoning is when we say that all mammals are warm-blooded, and we observe that this animal that I have in my lap is warm-blooded, therefore it's reasonable to think that it might be a mammal. You say, wait a minute, you said before that was a logical fallacy. That's affirming the consequent.
If that's what you want.
Yeah, it is. Abductive logic is the form of logic that you use when you need to draw some kind of conclusions about something, but you don't really have any information. And so you're coming up with an explanation. You're observing what is, and you're coming up with an explanation as to what might cause what you're seeing to occur. And you're saying, well, it's reasonable to think that...
Is that all?
This cause that I've made up in my head that could cause...
Nothing to it.
This effect that I'm observing. It's reasonable to think that that might actually be true. This is a logical fallacy. Uh-oh.
Very good, my son. Very good.
Obviously, we need a little bit more strength. We're gonna sell some of this shit. That I think is worth nothing, otherwise I would definitely sell it. We're gonna sell the unique shit. Alright. Let's get some money. Money that we don't really need, but why not? Ah, it's night.
Whatever you want. Just ask.
Abductive logic is
What would you like?
I got some cheap beer for you.
when you observe something in front of you and you have an explanation for why that might occur, and you say it's reasonable to believe that this might be the explanation for what occurred, you're operating essentially in an almost complete absence of information.
Nothing to it.
That's the only situation in which abductive logic is useful. It's when it's shit. Oh, here he is.
Hi, friend.
Alright. So, here's where the...
Yes.
Somebody's up there. Here's where the house is. Sounds like it's probably just a rat. Yeah, just a rat. So next time we're going to go in here, and we're going to retrieve the Dawn Ring, and then we're going to do probably some more stuff with the Bard Stronghold that I've been putting off because I didn't want to do it before this. You know, talking some more about logic probably. Abductive logic is really important, but it's really important also to understand what it is, what it's good for, and when it's proper to use it and when it isn't. So I'll go over that next time. So join me then. Later.